Greetings. I'm Thomas Caldwell of the Aurelian Column, and this is Meditations. Fables are an old way of teaching wisdom in a fun way of telling a story. There are many in Western civilization, but they all go back to an ancient Greek guy named Aesop. And today I think is important to talk about one of his maybe not so well-known fables, but it's about the ant and the grasshopper. Now, one of the problems we have in our society is that people don't learn from those who are older than them or wiser than them. These days, the younger generation seems to be born with all the wisdom in the world, and they think that, and because they have access to the internet, which gives them instant gratification as well as instant information, well, shall we say that they haven't really learned to learn. They just have information. Not the same thing. Anyways, it's important to prepare for the future, the inevitable future. Not just what might happen, like a nuclear war, as if anyone could prepare for that, but let's say bad weather. Every year we go through a cycle of summer, autumn, winter, and spring. Summer can be very harsh because of its heat, but winter is far more harsh because we have no ability to grow food. Ice and snow can be perilously dangerous. In fact, most people don't realize it, but one of the signs of evil when the legendary devil showed up was always cold. It was never heat. Now, the story of the ant and the grasshopper, for those of you who don't know, is in the summer day, the grasshopper is merrily bouncing along on grass and on rocks and enjoying himself. There's plenty of food to be had, and he notices the ant crawling along the ground with bits of food and crumbs that he's bringing to his nest, and said, "What are you doing? Why are you working so hard? It's a beautiful day. Enjoy it. It's so wonderful out. The sun is out. It's bright and it's warm." And the ant said, "Well, winter's coming. And when winter comes, we won't be able to get any food. So we have to store it now. We have to make preparations for the times ahead that are oh so difficult." But the grasshopper said, now there'll be plenty of time to do that. Don't worry about it. Go out and have some fun." But the ant ignored the grasshopper and kept along on his labors. Ants are, if anything, extremely industrious. And as the summer gradually faded into autumn and winter, the grasshopper began to notice it was cold and it was harder to get food. And because he didn't help anyone prepare for the winter, no one was willing to help him. The ants had stashed away a massive supply of various things that ants pick up. If you've ever been to a picnic, you know how they can be when they see bits of food. Squirrels, of course, had stored their nuts. Bears and other mammals had eaten an awful lot and had gone into hibernation. But the grasshopper was all alone as the cold came and the ice and snow of winter approached. And because he didn't help anyone, no one helped him, and he certainly didn't help himself, he died, alone and in the cold. Anyways, it's a fable that is timeless. It started from about, I believe, 600 BC is what they date Aesop to. It's the story that carried through to Greek civilization, Roman civilization, onward through the Middle Ages. It kept people going during the Dark Ages, of course, the Renaissance, and on into modern times. I was shocked the other day when I spoke to a young person who told me he'd never heard of Aesop. They never taught him in school. Now, as I record this, a very, very nasty storm is hitting the central and eastern part of the United States. And because of the technology we've become addicted to, because of the ease of life that we've become accustomed to, well, we just flip on a switch and there's light. Or we have a refrigerator full of food. Or if we get hungry, there's nothing in the house, we jump in our automobiles filled with gasoline and we drive down to the store and pick up anything we need. Well, that's separated us from the realities of environment. It's the same planet Earth that our ancestors grew up on, and it can be a harsh, dangerous, and outright deadly place. And not from our own kind trying to kill us, but from Mother Nature trying to separate the strong from the weak. So, what we're trying to talk about today is the need to look at the world realistically, to always prepare for an inevitable future. And when older people try to teach the young what's real and what's not, it's the duty of the young to listen to them. That's it for today. If you are listening to meditations, you are a paid subscriber of the Aurelian Column, and for that I deeply thank you. I always welcome feedback. My email address is feedback@aureliancolumn.com. That's feedback@aureliancolumn.com. I can be reached up on X. My handle there is MICCAMPEN, MICCAMPEN, and if you're interested in learning more about me, it's the same for my website, which is www.miccampen.com. This podcast originates at Substack. My address there is substack.aureliancolumn.com, and at this time of year, donations, especially for new equipment, are appreciated. It's not only the bad weather that can turn off the lights. So I wish you well. Until we meet again, be good, be safe, be vigilant, and evolve well. Good day.